Hey everyone, it's Joric. Welcome back. I wanted to make this video for Americans that are thinking about moving to Portugal, and those of you that do live in Portugal that may watch the channel. I'm hoping that you can comment on this and tell me if this resonates or not, but I wanted to talk about 5 years of going back and forth between Portugal and the US and just trekking and all of the trips and all of the conversations and getting to know a lot of Americans that live here in Portugal. And often when people have asked me, what are some of the downsides of Portugal, or specifically from the United States moving to Portugal, what's your biggest con, if you will? And I would say the biggest adjustment that someone from the US may have moving to Portugal is access, convenience. Yeah, that's it. And the reason I say that, I'm trying to come up with a more succinct word, but in the US, it seems like you can get whatever you want almost whenever you want. So things like someone brings up Amazon. Every once in a while, I'll have someone email about how does Amazon work in Portugal, and many people across the U.S. are now used to same-day service with Amazon as opposed to next day. Amazon here in Portugal is becoming more robust, where we are getting some things next day or second day, which is good. The amount of items, now again, the access and convenience, what you can find on the Amazon Portugal, which is actually Amazon Spain store, is about 10 to 20% of products that you could find on Amazon USA store. And I think that's where sometimes people get thrown off going to the grocery store in the United States. You probably get blueberries year round, strawberries year round, peaches, nectarines, certain vegetables year round. Here in Portugal, you can't. That's something you might be able to go to a store. There's something called El Corte Inglés, which is in Lisbon, where you might be able to find year-round stuff. But not every store has year-round items. It's more seasonal. That's what it's meant to be. And I'll be honest, most of the world lives off of seasonal produce as opposed to year-round produce. And I think that's some of the things of banking. I just made a video recently about banking and some of the issues with how long it takes to get banking done. And here, Portugal banks open between 8 and 9 in the morning. Often they close between 3 and 5. In the United States, often you can get banking done on Saturdays. You can get banking done while you're doing groceries, because there's often a bank of some sort. Maybe it's your bank in the grocery store, so you can do that as well. Things like pharmacies. You do have access here to pharmacies. Often on the weekends they're closed, depending on where you're at. There are, depending on where you live, there may be some 24-hour pharmacies. But again, in the United States, often you can get your you can pick up your prescription drugs at the grocery store also while you're doing banking. And I think that's if there's a rub, or if there's a common theme that I've heard from talking to Americans over the years over their biggest, point of frustration, maybe, if that's the right term, point of angst, is the accessibility. And when I say that too, I'm also thinking that like the amount of choice, maybe that's where I'm going, maybe the lack of choice, or there's less choice here. And so if you want, if you want toothpaste, you have probably 500 types of toothpaste that you could get at a grocery store in the US. Here you might have a dozen. I don't know why you need more than a dozen, but choice is something that you have to work with and manage. You might need to go to a couple of grocery stores or different markets to find what you want. Or if there's something that you really love in the United States as far as something to eat or something that you buy or a household item, you may not be able to get it here. That's part of living someplace else and experiencing something new. I think so often when I've met with people and when I've talked to people who are thinking about moving or have moved, I think in general often regardless of where we're all from, this video is about the United States and Portugal, but regardless, we want like some of the comforts of home or all the positives of home in our new place. We don't want any of the negatives from home, but often we're not willing to embrace what's going on in the new country. So moving away, you do have to think about you're not going to have as many options to choose from when you go do things. And I think that that's liberating. That's good because instead of having 1,000 things to think about, maybe I have 50 things to think about. That's good. Going to the grocery store is easy for me because I know in season, I know what I'll be able to get. I do know the year-round items, and that's a positive thing. I think always being able to get access to things is great, depending on your lifestyle and who you are. But I also think just doing things seasonally or knowing that you can't always, well, I'll use a Rolling Stone line, you can't always get what you want. That would be a way that I would put it here when you move out of the United States. The convenience, the choice, some of that goes away. And I think that that's okay. Some people, it drives them absolutely nuts, and it is a reason why some people move back to the U.S. because they do want the access and the freedom to go get stuff or have everything at their fingertips, so to speak. So it's something about being able to manage those expectations when you're looking to move. Little things, go to the grocery store when you're moving here. Just look and see what's in the aisles and see how that compares to what you would get back home. And also some of the hours of operation, how things work, the bureaucracy, sometimes that plays into it as well. But I think mostly it's about choice and options and convenience. That is why people, if they have a hard time making it in Portugal, that seems to be the common theme that I hear from people that are ready to leave or people that have moved away. So just wanted to give you that information, some food for thought for those of you Americans looking to move. Hopefully this will resonate, or you can say, nah, that's not me. I'm okay with limited choices, and that's what I'm looking for, a more simpler life. As always, thank you so much for watching, and enjoy your travels.